Well, everyone, I want to give a little story time to probably one of the biggest downfalls of any iPhone lineup I've ever seen in my life. Now, some of you may know this, but Apple has a couple of different lineups. They have their cheapest iPhone SE lineup, they have their, Pro models, then they have their baseline models, and then they typically sell, the last generation base models. Right now, they have the iPhone 11s and iPhone 12s and 12 minis. But I truly do think the biggest downfall of any iPhone lineup they've ever had is currently the iPhone SE lineup. When the original iPhone SE came out in 2016, I think there was a lot of mixed opinions on it. I think, some people were like, why did they do this? But also, it made complete sense to me because of that price tag. At $399, Apple was giving you pretty much a design that really wasn't super dated. It was a smaller iPhone, but it really didn't cut any crazy corners. When you look at an iPhone like the iPhone SE that came out in 2016, and you look at the iPhone 6s that came out the same time or a couple months before, it was understandable of why they made that decision. It really didn't make too much sense to give it the same 6s body. And this was like a year and a half or almost 2 years generations before we got the iPhone 10, which kind of changed up the design at that point. So for an iPhone like the iPhone SE at that point, many years later, even now in 2022, when I pick up my original iPhone SE, I'm still surprised how much better of an experience I'm getting on that iPhone compared to my iPhone 6s or my iPhone 6s Plus. So those things were actually super crazy to me. And when I look back, that is something that just stands out to me probably a majority of the time. It's just how this iPhone was just so good at the time. Then the iPhone SE 2 came out. And this iPhone, I think, was such a weird device because it came out and I was pretty happy about it. It was a decent successor to the original iPhone SE. But shortly after, this iPhone kind of became a really weird device. I would say about 2-3 months in, that's when I started thinking to myself and started seeing how this iPhone compared to an iPhone XR wasn't really doing too well. And then when the iPhones got another price drop, aka the iPhone XR went away and the iPhone 11 came in, it made even less sense to buy something like an iPhone SE 2. And now with something like the iPhone SE 3, for it going up in value and for it bringing even less to the table than the iPhone SE 2, this is just a downward spiral. It seems like the initial iPhone SE was super awesome, the second iPhone was kind of okay, and then this iPhone is very, very strange. In my opinion, I don't see how Apple could generally fix this lineup. And now that now that so many reports are coming out stating that this iPhone is actually not selling that well, at least compared to the iPhone SE 2, this is actually a very interesting spot that Apple's in, because most of the time, whenever they make a decision like this, these iPhones still sell like crazy and all this stuff, but it doesn't really look like that's going to be the case here. And it looks like Apple may end up having a successor to this iPhone sooner than later. If they have another iPhone SE that comes out with the home button, nobody would buy that. That design is severely outdated. It is not a good design anymore. And I'm currently using the iPhone SE again. And this has started to kind of, make me think a little bit more of pretty much, the downside and the downward spiral of one of the most promising lineups from Apple in the beginning with, and now it's gone down like crazy in my opinion. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.